Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. I am so excited to film this because it's one that I have been wanting to film for so long now, and that is building my dream reading setup. We are currently in my living room right now, and that is where all the books are going to be, and I'm super excited. I've been building these bookshelves over the past couple days and I'm finally done doing it. This isn't even it right here. We have the IKEA Billy bookcases, and with the extension, we have these here. We have one over here that I'll show you, and then we have two more bookcases in my hall. So let me show those to you right now, and then we're gonna get started on building this. I cannot wait. Okay, so here's what we have going on. We have two bookcases right here with the extension at the top. And then we've got a little skinny girl right here in the corner. And here's the aftermath of building 4 bookcases. Yeah, I'm super excited to go recycle that for sure. And it looks a little crazy right here, but here are the 2 bookcases that are in the hall. And here are all of the books that I need to fit in my bookcases. I definitely have enough room. I'm super excited. I have a lot of room to grow, which is good. I also have some books there and then a couple over here. My living room looks crazy. Everything is just everywhere. So I'm very eager to get this started. I feel like these are going to be my main focal points, like my prettiest books and stuff over here. Except I was also thinking that maybe the skinny shelf could be where I display my prettier books. I don't know. I really have no idea what I want to do. But to start, what I think I'm going to do is I know I want to organize the books by genre anyways. My top genres are definitely fantasy and romance. So I'm definitely going to organize those in their own sections as well. And I have some like subgenres too that I don't have that many of, like mystery or thriller or nonfiction, things like that. So I'll put those in their own sections too. So I think that's the first thing I'm going to do is to organize all of the books right now. I think it's going to take a while, so I'm going to put a show on or something too. I think I'm also going to have my fairy loot books in a separate section. So we'll see on that. Okay, so I've finalized organizing the books, and I think you can definitely see what my favorite genre is. This is fantasy, all of that. And then this is kind of more like, sorry, I'm exhausted. And this is kind of more like contemporary fiction, but also I have a lot of like YA contemporary. So that's this section right here. I have my graphic novels over here, classics. These are all my fairy loot books. Then we have mystery, thriller right there, nonfiction and religion, and then mystery and historical fiction. I think I accidentally combined that section. Wait, these are supposed to go over here. That's why. And then here's my romance. I have it kind of categorized by YA and adult, but I'll probably categorize it even more. So I'm feeling like I need to start with my fantasy because honestly, this whole section over here might be all fantasy. We'll see. This is going to take forever. But I think it's gonna be very fun. I'm very excited. It's like, do I want all my fantasy books to be in the living room? That's my dilemma right now. Because I think I totally can fill most of this. But maybe like the bottom 2 shelves could be something different. I'm gonna play around. I'm gonna see what I like and see what works. So we'll do that right now. Okay, I think I want to start off by displaying my favorite series. I'm already struggling so much, guys, because one of my all-time favorite series is like Six of Crows and Shadow and Bone and just the whole Grishaverse. I have so many copies of those books, so I know it will take up a lot of space. Okay, sorry, I am all over the place, but I'm looking at the little skinny shelf over there, and I think that would actually be really cute if that was like all romance. I think that'd be really cute. So yeah, this is all fantasy. We'll see what I do with my fairy loot books. I think that could be nice to have like all the spines out like right here. That could be cute. Ooh, yeah, okay. I'm feeling good. I'm just gonna shut up right now and I'm gonna get started on doing this. This is so fun already, but a little stressful. Okay, so here's what we have going on right now. I have about maybe 2/3 of my fantasy books on my shelves already. Yeah, but I do still have 6 more shelves. You can't see it right now, but I just wanted to give a little bit overview of like where we're at right now. Things might move around, but I just kind of wanted to put the books up to see how it's all looking. I'm already obsessed. Can't wait. So what we're doing right now, we have the Shadow and Bone Six of Crows shrine up here. Really like how that turned out actually. We kind of have more like Shadow and Bone, and then I'm gonna geek out for a second. We have a little bit of like the Shadow and Bone collection here. That we have the graphic novel and some of the expansion books in that series. And then we move on to King of Scars, Rule of Wolves. And then we move to Six of Crows, Crooked Kingdom, the Ketterdam area. So really loving how this turned out. I'm so happy to see them out. They were in sort of this like cupboard area of the apartment because I really had zero shelf space. I had one bookshelf. I had one bookshelf like for almost a year, a little less than a year. So been making do. It makes me so happy seeing them out and have their own display. I love it so much. And then we're moving into like my favorite series kind of. So we have the Scythe series right here, and then Darker Shade of Magic with the Fragile Threads of Power right there, and then Ember in the Ashes. Okay, you know what I'm realizing right now? I feel like I'm gonna do a final tour at the end, so let me not go super into detail right now. But yeah, so have more like series up here, and then there's some books scattered that I haven't read yet, but I thought they looked nice there. And then these are kind of more like duology or standalones or just books that I haven't finished in the series, and mainly paperbacks here, and then mainly hardcovers here. These could be series as well. And then we have my Fairy Loot books right here. I do like how this section looks. I might change it a little bit. These ones right here are the ones that I get in like my monthly Fairy Loots, and then besides these two, I guess. But then these ones are like ones that I like special ordered. So we have my Divine Rivals and Once Upon a Broken Heart series. I'm kind of at a little bit of a dilemma. So I have 6 more shelves at the bottom, and I just don't really know what I want to do with them. Like I think I'm going to finish it out at least. Maybe I just need 2 more shelves for fantasy and the rest could be something different. I'm debating. Maybe I'll finish the fantasy out and I'll work on the skinny shelf for romance and see where we're at after that. Because I do think I want that to be solely romance. So let's work on that right now. finished the romance corner. I am obsessed with it, quite honestly. It's just so colorful and I think it is so cute. I really like it next to my little vintage Snow White poster. I think that is super cute as well. So we'll go into a little more detail later, but how I organized it pretty much is I did YA at the top and then adult at the bottom. Have a little Emily Henry section right here. I also put my bookmarks here as well. I thought that was cute. And then I have some graphic novels there as well. And the bottom shelf is empty. So I have this shelf is empty, and then I have 4 shelves on the fantasy section that are empty as well. And since this is my living room, I was kind of thinking to put some like my board games on the bottom parts of these shelves. I don't know. I don't really have that many, so I think quite honestly, I think they could fit in this small one right here. I'll have to double check. Or like my Switch. I don't know. I do want to eventually get some like cute baskets to put those in because they're not the cutest things ever. But right now I don't have any. So we're just making do with what we have. And yes, I do have quite a few more books to put away, but I have the 2 bookshelves in the hallway and I'm thinking about putting the rest of the books in those shelves and leaving these ones blank, like the fantasy ones, just to have like more room to grow. Maybe putting some other stuff there. I don't really know. Or just spreading things out because all the books are pretty close on the fancy shelf, which I like the way it looks, but I might want to spread things out a little bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do for the ones in the hallway, but we'll figure it out. It'll be a little bit of a trial and error, and let's go ahead and do that. It is done. Guys, I am so happy with how this looks. I think it looks so good. I am freaking out. This is making me want to read like every single book I own right now. I cannot wait. I'm obsessed with how all of these look. And now it's time for the in-depth bookshelf tour. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Okay, I have you guys on the tallest setting of my tripod and on my coffee table. So bear with me. You're probably not gonna be able to see my head. Can you? That's how tall the bookshelves are. But we're just gonna kind of not go fully in depth because we'll be here for hours if we do. But we're gonna go shelf by shelf. I'll show you what's going on and how I kind of arranged everything. So to start off, we have the Grishaverse shelves at the top. This holds all of my special editions from like the Shadow and Bone Six of Crows universe. That series is super near and dear to my heart. It's one of the first series that really got me into reading. So had to have a very prominent place. And then you'll see my Darkling and Nikolai candles at the top as well. Those are very important to have. And is this peak overconsumption core? Maybe. But we're gonna move past that fact. All right. All right. And then right here we have my Saba Tahir little collection. I love the Ember and the Ashes series so much. And so I have my original series right here. This one's actually signed by Saba Tahir. I forgot to mention, but I have a couple signed Lee Bardugo books up there. So I need those to have their own prominent place on my shelves. And then we have the new releases that they came out with for the series, and they have this really pretty cover art, which I love. I also have my Darker Shade of Magic series right here as well. And then we have my Air series. I actually have the manuscript in the back for Air. And then, so this is my regular cover of Air, and then the Fairy Loot edition. Then right here, it's kind of more like series and randomized fantasy books, kind of by author, but you'll see it doesn't really hold up. So we have Hunger Games right here, all of those books. I desperately want a hardcover of the Hunger Games. And then we have more Lee Bardugo, more hardcovers, some standalones right there. I've read most of these. Some I haven't read, but yeah, just wanted those right there. Okay, now you can see my body. Now right here we have more like paperback fantasy books. We have some of my favorite duologies and standalones, my Scythe series. I love that series so much, and just kind of random fantasy as well. And then here's more like hardcover fantasy books. We have the Legendborn series, and then I love Lady Macbeth. It was one of my favorite books of last year. So we have that here. And then just some other hardcover fantasy books. How many times can I say fantasy books? And then here is the Fairy Loot section. I have quite a few Fairy Loot books. I've had a subscription for about 2 years now. So this is a mix of my monthly books that I get in my subscription, and also like these ones and these ones are just ones that I purchased separately. And I love these series so much, so I wanted to make sure they had a great place to be viewed. So I love having the spines out because I love how pretty all of the different spines are. I love how Fairy Loot does their sprayed edges. I'm quite obsessed. So I wanted those to be like a main focal point, and I really like how it looks a lot. So next down here, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but these are kind of just like fantasy series that maybe I've started the first book, but haven't finished it. Generally more paperback, and I enjoyed them. Not necessarily my favorite. I kind of want to move this up, Study and Drowning, next to Lady Macbeth, but I've yet to do that. Some of these I haven't read, some I have. I just kind of like how the Fairy Loot books divide the paperback fantasy books. I just like how it looks. I don't know. And over here we have more fantasy books. So these are some like just spare ones that I didn't really know where to put. I have like Lion the Witch in the Wardrobe series, Percy Jackson. And then right here, these are just fantasy books that I don't necessarily gravitate towards, but I know friends, if they want to like borrow a book, I know this series is very popular among other people. It's not necessarily my favorite at all, but I've yet to get rid of it. I don't know. There's something about it I just don't want to get rid of, you know? Okay, and then finally we have my original Harry Potter paperbacks right here. I might move this more to the left. I think it looks maybe a little bit weird right there. I think I'm gonna do that. And then I also have my illustrated copies of the books. I heard that they stopped doing them, and that's making me so sad because I'm like, you made it all the way through illustrating the fifth book. Just do the sixth and seventh. So hopefully that's not the case, but those things are heavy. So I might have to move those to the bottom shelf. I don't know yet. Okay, and I feel like I already kind of gave a tour of my romance corner, so I'm not going to go super into detail right there, but I did end up putting my board games at the bottom, which I think looks really cute. But yeah, I'm so happy with how this looks. I love my Snoopy little thing right there with my bookmarks on top of one of my favorite romance series of all time. And then Emily Henry shelf, love it. I love how bright and colorful this is. And I still have room to grow. Like I can move some things around, and then eventually I can move the board games as well. So yeah, I just think this is so cute. Okay, and I actually really like how this area turned out. This is in the hallway, and I don't have anything in this bookshelf right now. I don't really know what I'm going to use it for, but honestly, maybe just like extra like craft storage or something. I really don't know, but we'll figure it out. So here's the final bookshelf. So I have my little scrapbook up here with my little bulldog. And then below we have some classics. And I love how the ribbon like falls over the classics. I just think that is so cute. And then we move from classics to more like historical fiction and have this cute picture of my friends and I in Greece. I love it so much. And then below that, we have more like contemporary fiction right here, got some Sally Rooney, Taylor Jenkins Reid, and then we move into more like realistic fiction, and then some memoirs. And below that, we move into more like mystery and thriller type of books. I have a mix of adult and YA right here. And then to finish it, a picture of my friends and I in Vegas. So cute. So yeah, I'm so excited about how this all turned out. I love having everything separated by genre. I think that'll make it a lot easier for me to find what book I'm looking for. Like originally, I just had the one bookshelf and that had mainly fantasy, but then also it had romance and like all my other like contemporary and realistic fiction stuff. So it made it kind of hard to figure out what book I was looking for. It was all just kind of scattered around. And I know it's kind of spread out in here, but I like that it's spread out. It's intentionally spread out around my living room. And I just think it's so cute. This is making me so excited to read. And while this did take forever and I'm literally losing daylight, I'm just so glad I got this all done in one day. And like realistically, is it going to end up staying like this? Probably not. Things are going to move around. I'm going to get new books. I'm going to get rid of some books. Things are going to fluctuate. I know that. But I feel like the way that things are structured, it's going to make it easy for me to move things around. And I have a lot of room for growth. So, super excited about all of this. I think it's going to be so good. It's just so much cozier and feels like so lived in now. It might have taken almost a year to get this set up, but I'm very excited that it's here now. But anyways, y'all, I had so much fun making this video. I'm just so excited for how everything looks right now. Took a very long time. It's already been so worth it. If you enjoyed this video, it would mean so much to me if you gave it a thumbs up. And if you're not yet, I would appreciate it so much if you subscribed. And yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.